There have been a lot of issues and a lot of very complex assumptions surrounding the United States visa ban on Nigerians. Is it visitors visa? What kind of visa? Is it migration, or what class of visa are they talking about? The story out there is that the United States has given reasons for imposing visa restrictions on Nigerians. Now, are we going to use the word some Nigerians, depending on what categories, and five other countries' nationals? It is said that Nigeria did not comply with established identity management and information sharing criteria assessed by the performance metrics. The United States also said Nigeria did not adequately share public safety and terrorism related information necessary for the protection of the national security and public safety of the United States of America. Imagine a country where biometrics is not collated and stored in a database, not because people don't have such, but because they need to play some games when it comes to election and when it comes to resource sharing of money, because some people in the north want certain amount of money allocations given to them. That is why they're, and of course they know election period, it will be very difficult if all datas are stored and no one can manipulate those data. That is why they will make sure that nothing like this works. The full report of the visa restriction, titled Proclamation on Improving Enhanced Vetting Capabilities and Process, posted in whitehouse.gov. It's a website. It reads in part: Nigeria also present a high risk relative to other countries in the world of terrorist travel to the United States. Nigeria is an important strategic partner in the global fight against terrorism, and the United States continues to engage with Nigeria on these and other issues. What is terrorism? Where are the terrorists in Nigeria? Who are the terrorists? These are the questions we should begin to ask, because at the end of the day, either we call ourselves Biafrans, we call ourselves Oduduwa, Anago, Yoruba, Middle Belt, Niger Delta, whatever name you call yourself. At the end of the day, everyone is going to be packed and put in an omnibus, a bus without form and shape, a bus without direction. Everyone's going to be packed together, and they're going to call everyone and tell everyone Nigeria. If you think I'm not saying the truth, can you tell me if you are abroad or somewhere outside of Nigeria and something happens? What do they term you as? They say these Nigerians. They don't have time to begin to say you are Igbo, you are Biafran, you are this. Of course, they are getting to know that they are Biafrans in that contraction called Nigeria, and there are other tribes there. But at the end of the day, they will all term you together, because it's more easier for the West to term a country together as one, particularly if you are of a different race. So it further stated that the Department of State has provided significant assistance to Nigeria as it modernizes its border management capabilities, and the government of Nigeria recognizes the importance of improving its information sharing with the United States. Nevertheless, these investments have not yet resulted in sufficient improvements in Nigerian information sharing with the United States for border and immigration screening and vetting. Nigeria is the only country in West Africa sanctioned by the United States Department of Home Security following a review and update of the methodology, that's the performance metrics. Other countries on the list are Eritrea, Myanmar, that is in the Asian continent, Tanzania in Africa, Sudan in Africa, and Kyrgyzstan, that is the Euro-Asia region. The new visa regime announced by the U.S. government on January 31st involves suspension of the issuance of immigrant visas to Nigerian passport holders. It comes into effect on February 21st. And of course, they came up with stories of people that come abroad to give back to kids. And they are also putting a stop to that. Strong reactions have, however, greeted the United States visa restrictions, with the presidency announcing the setting up of a committee to address the issue. I once heard a young man from Iran that is a student in the United States of America. He was doing his master's degree. He was turned back. He was turned back. He wasn't allowed to come back any longer. So there are a lot of issues. Some people are not happy with Donald Trump. They claim that, well, the people in the United States of America are actually, they migrated down there and forcefully took over the land from the real Aborigines, the Americans, and they took over the land and it became theirs. They used the power, the weapon that they had. They took over the land and all of that. And now, when the British moved in and the rest of the Europeans moved in, it got to a point, some other parts of Europe, like Germany, which is the original place the great-grandfather of Donald Trump is from. His grandfather and his ancestors, they are from Germany. And somehow they eventually settled there. They also came into a system that gave them an opportunity for them to migrate. But then migration is not the problem. It is what you do. What are the culture? What are your value systems? These are very important. So it seems all of a sudden some certain regions, some certain groups of people do not have the interests of the people. They go to a place and they want to push a very demonic and evil and endemic, characteristics. They want to put that out there. But that is not to say we'll put everybody in one spot and say, if you are a Muslim, if you are from this region, simply put, like someone say, oh, if you are from Nigeria, you are all terrorists. I don't think anyone would like that anyway. But right now, Donald Trump, he believes that these policies that he's coming up with is good for the Americans and it's good for the people. The committee is chaired by the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola. A State House statement said on Saturday that they are going to look into, that's the presidency, the Nigerian presidency are going to look into this issue of visa brouhaha. The committee will work with the United States government, Interpol, and other stakeholders to ensure all updates are properly implemented. The statement by the media aide to the president, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, Mr. Femi Adesina, said, however, the president noted that the restrictions did not affect other categories of visas like official, tourism, or business visa. So let's get this very clear. The presidency reaction to the development read in part, on January 31st, 2020, the United States Department of Homeland Security announced temporary travel restrictions on 6 countries, including Nigeria. For Nigeria, it is the suspension of the issuance of immigrant visas to Nigerian passport holders only, not visit tourist visa. So let's get this right. Nigeria remains committed to maintaining productive relations with the United States and its allies, especially on matters of global security. Accordingly, President Muhammadu Buhari has established a committee to be chaired by the Minister of Interior to study and address the updated United States requirements. The Senate condemned the inclusion of Nigeria on the list of countries under United States visa restrictions and promised to spearhead a diplomatic arrangement in collaboration with the relevant agencies with a view to addressing the issues advanced by the United States for the ban. The chairman, Senate Committee on Diaspora Affairs, Senator Ajibola Basiru, who described the United States travel ban on Nigeria as quite unfortunate in an interview in Abuja, however, stressed the need for Nigeria to put in place citizenship integrity mechanism. He said we need to address the issue of citizenship integrity because at the moment we are a nation of anonymous citizens. That's what I said initially. I said there are a lot of anonymous people in Nigeria. They are not Nigerians. We don't know how they came about. And it's a terrible thing. We cannot say the borders are porous because there is no border at all. And I said that we do not have a database. Of course, maybe a database can be harvested, but somehow the integrity of this database is very important. Citizenship integrity is a very serious issue. He said we don't have recognized records to be sure that anybody carrying a Nigerian passport is actually a Nigerian. I'm not talking as a politician, but as a patriot. We need government to address the issue of citizenship integrity. We should have a proper record of birth, registration, and identification of our citizens. The Senate spokesperson described the ban as a wake-up call, noting that it will spur the nation to take seriously the National Identity Card project. And for me, I believe the country has expired already. So that is the reason why a lot of things will not work. Anyway, things are what it is. It's just what it is. It's a shame. It's so sad. It's so sad that this is happening. Now, the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi also condemned the United States policy, describing it as discrimination disguised as policy. Yes, this lady Nancy Pelosi has been having issues with Donald Trump as regards his policy and the way he goes about these things. It's not everything that Donald Trump does that is good anyway. There are a lot of issues as regards how he addresses people, like there's a kind of racist. He's racist anyway. He speaks about people that are from other, that are not Caucasians. He speaks to them, even though they are born in America, he speaks about them as if they are nobody. A former secretary to the government of the Federation, Babagana Kingbe, said nothing has changed as the restriction would help strengthen the country's national security. He noted that the United States listed 6 categories reforms for Nigeria to meet, and these categories are very important for them to meet. But then I don't know how they're going to meet it anyway, because it's going to be very, very difficult for them to meet this requirement. It's just very, very difficult. The best thing for Nigeria to move to the next, the people living in the contraption called Nigeria, not Nigeria itself, it has expired and it's a very terrible name. The best thing is for them to break apart, let everyone focus on their own nation. That is what it is. It is best that way. That's just what it is. Rather than people having different religious views, different cultural, and all of that. Rather than all of these people coming together without any focus, it is better they split apart so that everyone can do his own thing and bear his father's name. That's what it is for now. If you're not a member of this channel, let us grow together by you tapping on the subscription button and the red notification icon bell below. It will alert you whenever videos are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.